Hey YouTube, it's John Wilkins, core coach, Mr. Foundation, and I'm sitting here with Noelle Gaffney.
Hi, so I am Noelle Gaffney. I'm a wrestler at Grand Valley State University, actually a transfer junior. I went to High Point High School and I've been on the bar for, what would I say, I started in May, so almost coming around a year. But it's definitely made a huge difference in my wrestling, to say the least. And I remember going into school and everyone was like, what do you do for lifting? And I would tell everyone, I was like, I don't lift. I'm like,
Right.
I literally just do this bar. And at the time I was on it for a few months, right? And it made a huge drastic difference for me and brought to school and started putting a bunch of girls on it and everyone was loving it. But that was just kind of the beginning of it, I'd say.
So, Noelle, how did you find out about the bar?
I saw some stuff online and then I saw one of my friends, Ryan, was on it. And then we were texting on Instagram and as soon as literally the second day I got home from school, I came here and
Yeah.
you were like, it's going to be a good workout. And I was here for 2 hours. And I was like, I've never experienced anything like it in my life. Yeah, it's changed the way to like with lifting, you're using one part of your body. And with this bar, you're using your whole body. And everything is wrestling related, which I love so much.
Right, right.
And
So
yeah.
let me quick go over. So the finisher bar is a plank bar that we started with. I was training probably about 20 years now. So 30 years I've been training, but 20 years of it has been not heavy lifting, a lot of planks, a lot of time under tension, isometric contraction. And one of the things that intrigued me and had me do, a lot of my research was the Secret Service was one, and the other one was like people with disabilities. And what I was intrigued by with the disabilities was these kids, adults,
Yeah.
weren't lifting, but they were really, really strong. And I was like, well, how's this man so strong? Like he can pick up anything.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, well, how would that be with sports? Like, what has he been doing his entire life? He hasn't been lifting any weights, hasn't been bench pressing, hasn't been deadlifting or anything like
Yeah.
that. But it was the contraction, like the isometric contraction, kind of like Bruce Lee. And what I did was I combined the plank because the plank is one of the only exercise that hits full body in a contraction.
Yeah.
So no muscles are in any range of motion. It's just an isometric contraction for time, so it builds endurance and stuff like that. So when you came on, I was kind of teaching for years how would this be with other sports? Like how would this bar be? Because it was just my clients.
Yeah.
How would this be with wrestling? How would it be with like football? How would it be like, with all these different sports? And it was really coming to me. So I had to actually do a market test. So my wife and I, we went for like a year. It's just a year now, a little over a year, that we went around the entire country and some other parts of the world, and we tested this bar in this plank position. And the one key element was most people plank on their hands or they plank on their elbows. If they're planking on their hands or their elbows, doesn't matter which one, there's no grip.
Exactly.
So this
and that's
bar,
huge for wrestling.
yes, this bar introduced the core grip connection, right?
Yeah.
So then we're in this plank position into an isometric contraction, but wrestling is not, no sport, no being stands still.
Yeah.
So then I had to think of exercises to actually make you walk or move to mimic like a contraction plus an isometric contraction.
Yeah.
So we tested football players, we tested pro baseball players, we tested wrestlers, Navy SEALs, all kinds of, sports. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about today was we did this whole market testing and we did a lot of work with women wrestlers, right?
And it's been coming like huge. You're going everywhere for it and putting more girls on it. I know when I got to school, I put Sage, Katie, and a bunch of other girls, Lenny, like national champs, world champs. And you went out to Colorado and saw that. And I think just getting more girls on it every day. The girls at Blair, like
Yeah.
girls at High Point, and it's just like growing. Like that's the whole point of it, you know, and trying to get everyone better.
Yes.
Make
Yes.
you know, and
That's the main thing.
Yeah,
Is getting everybody
exactly.
better.
And
like-
I was lucky that I got to be her first.
Yeah.
You know, out of like all these girls, and just trying to bring more people in. And every time I'm home, I text people like, come work out with me, and just it's totally different than people think you need a lift.
Right.
I mean, like you do like for college, like we're put through programs and stuff, but there's nothing that will do what this does for you.
Right.
The
Right.
finisher
And it's a
does for you.
foundation,
Yeah,
right? So
exactly.
I always tell people it's the foundation of the body. Like there is nothing in life that doesn't have a foundation. Like your house has a foundation, your car has a foundation, learning has a foundation. There's a foundation to everything, and I feel like that's the piece that was missing.
Yeah.
Right. So, and the reason why it was missing is because we just said, okay, I need to get stronger. Let's go lift these weights.
Yeah.
I don't mind lifting the weights. The only thing I mind doing is putting that muscle on a weak foundation.
Exactly.
So while we're lifting the weights, we still need to do
Yeah.
the things that we need to do
And
to build
hitting
that
those
foundation.
muscles, like today, for example, we were hitting muscles that I won't hit doing anything else.
Right.
That will help me with wrestling. You know,
Right.
just injury prevention is a huge thing. I tell everyone with that, when you're
Yeah.
squeezing one, this is out. When this is in, this is out. You know, and just try not to like injure yourself when you're in season, but at the same time, knowing, like pushing yourself. And,
Right, right.
Yeah.
So we did a good job of getting you ready for the season.
Exactly, yeah.
But then once you got to the season, you can't train on the bar the same way.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things that we do is some of the more simpler exercises. Like we'll do like a lunge. We'll do a rotational lunge. We'll do like a reverse plank. We'll do a high plank. We'll stay on the bar and do like planks for time. Then we'll do a side plank, and just keep the body at optimum performance as we progress through the season. Because one of the biggest things, and I got this from coach, strength and conditioning coach at Penn State, Mike, is these guys and girls are so busy trying to make weight each week that if you worked out the same and you were tearing these
Yeah.
muscles and rebuilding them, you would miss your weight.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah.
because when you beat yourself up, you got to have fluid, you got to have some inflammation, you got to rebuild, you know. So that's when, you know, I actually said, you know, look, we got to do something a little different during the season
Yeah.
to keep these athletes on the bar, number one, and keeping what we have. If not, you'll
not
lose
restart-
it.
yeah,
not
restarting when you come
restarting,
back.
but simplify it so we can actually use that as a warm-up, you know.
Yeah.
So Nashawn Garrett went to the Worlds in September, and he got on the bar at Lehigh on like a Thursday. He was so impressed. He came back. He came to my gym on Saturday.
Yeah.
I gave him a bar. He took it to the Worlds with him the following week.
That's awesome.
And he used it as a warm-up because he said, as a high-level athlete, it's taking him 20 minutes, 30 minutes to warm up.
Yeah.
And I know it's a part of the sport, but you're taking away your wrestling time too.
Yeah.
You know? So just because we do it as a sport doesn't mean it's always right.
Yeah.
So he took 90 seconds to warm himself up the same way he was warming up for
Wow.
20 minutes. It brought him there quick.
That's awesome.
You know?
Yeah. No, that's really awesome.
So what was your the girls at the school, you know, your coaches, all that
Yeah.
stuff? What are they saying about the bar?
So when I first got out there, I brought the bar. Of course, everyone was like, what is this? And they saw some of my posts. And at first, it was like three of us go. I was like, come in the wrestling room, let's go. And I put them on the bar, and they were honestly dying.
Yeah.
They were like, I've never felt like this, because I was like, squeeze this muscle, squeeze this. You want to do short, choppy steps. And a lot of them like, were having a tough time, but they were still doing it.
Yeah.
They were super excited to be doing it, which I love. Like all the girls at my school are always like willing to get better and doing
Right.
everything to get better. And so I put them on the bar. We did a post, and then more girls were coming in because it was before school started. And they're like, "Can we do a bar workout?" And I'm like, "Sure." And then I probably gotten around to most of the girls on the team doing the bar, and then we got some of the guys on the bar. One of them national champ, and then so it was just awesome. All these people wanting to do the bar,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everyone was so willing to learn about it. And they were like, "This is tough."
Yeah, yeah.
Like some of them were doing good, but at the same time they were struggling. But then the coaches too, they love the functional training and they love all that. So hopefully we'll get you out there soon
Yeah,
and just get
yeah.
everyone out there. But
Yeah.
it's awesome. Everyone was super willing to learn and get better.
That's nice,
And
yeah.
just because it's hard doesn't mean you're going to quit.
Right.
Which is you know, wrestling, it's hard. At the same time, what are you just gonna quit? No.
Right.
And it just helps you not as much, like it helps you physically, but just as much mentally
Right.
and emotionally. And that was a big thing. And I was telling them everything it does for you. And with injuries, like what to do here. I'm like, you're tight. You need to loosen this up.
Right, right.
And everything you taught
So you
me,
listened.
I carried it over. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did listen. So it was awesome.
Awesome. And you know what the cool thing is about it is there's no disconnect, right? So
Yeah.
we're on the mat, and there's a disconnect leaving the mat and going into the gym,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So how do we bridge that? Why don't we bring the workout to the mat?
And that's what I did. I leave it in the wrestling room all the time.
Yeah.
Like use the bar.
Yep.
And then we got the strap in the weightlifting room.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, do you guys actually use the bar during practice?
So we won't use it during practice, but we'll go in on our own time and use it. But I know in the beginning of the season, my coach like, we got to get a few of these bars out here.
Yeah,
So then
yeah.
we can do it in like circuits.
Yeah,
You know, because it's
right.
the perfect thing to do. Or just have a workout, or like a workout with the bars.
Yeah, because it really improves the anaerobic threshold,
Yeah.
right? So
Because it's hard when you have one
anaerobically-
bar, you know, and
right.
you have a bunch of girls.
Yeah, anaerobically, we can have somebody, 2 wrestlers,
Yeah.
and then somebody on the bar and they
Yeah.
switch.
Yeah.
So you're coming to wrestle in the same situation
Yeah.
as your tournament. or
Yeah.
your-
That's
or
how a
your-
lot of our workouts are too.
Yeah.
It's just like 3 people and going.
Yeah, yeah. So you guys need to get some.
Yeah, I know we do. We do. We need to get you out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, another question. So, can you think of any exercise that we've done? I know there's a lot,
Yeah.
but any exercise we've done that completely translated to you on the mat?
So I remember I posted that one video of it, but I'd say like almost everything that I
Yeah.
do goes into my wrestling. Like today when we were doing those, what was it, single leg RDLs, but not
Well, it
like,
says single leg RDL, but it's a row. We're
okay,
rowing.
yeah. And when we're doing that is getting my lower in my stance,
Yep.
because making sure my hips are down, my legs are bent, not just like leaning over with my back.
Right, and you're
And-
quad dominant, you got big quads.
And that helps.
So getting you to use the
Yeah,
glute,
exactly.
the hamstring insertion, and balance it. So not just one muscle's doing everything.
Yeah, and that helps me get in my shots.
Yeah.
And then when we're in the strap and we're doing our V-ups,
Yeah.
that helps with my snaps.
Yes.
It made a huge difference. And with the plank walks, probably forward and backwards, I get heavy on my feet sometimes, and that just helps me do those short, choppy steps.
Right, right.
So a lot of that, basically everything we do, I feel like goes into my wrestling. Like I have that one video, probably get another one out soon, of just like seeing the wrestling move and then seeing what the workout does. But they're basically a lot of them. And when we're doing those ones where we're pushing the bar up, like when we're doing those crunches, that's helping you move, like push up, and like there's just everything's like flying out my mind right now. So no, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's good.
One of the things I noticed was in wrestling, grip strength is really
Yes.
important, right? So you got this bar, and the reason why we went to the bar is because dumbbells weren't doing it. Like the dumbbell is not thick enough. We did a lot of hand research and stuff
Yeah.
like that on grip strength, how it associates with like your forearms and the shoulder girdle
Yeah.
and the core. And there's a direct correlation from grip strength from core strengthening.
Yeah.
So sometimes I make people squeeze my arm,
Yeah.
and then I hit them in the stomach and they're not even tight. I hit them in the glute, they're not even tight,
Yeah.
right? So if that's going on, then it's
Yeah.
going on during your sport.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That was a big struggle for me the first time I got in here, was not being able to work all my muscles together.
Right.
And it was just everything was like one then the other then the other. But now it's just like using my whole body to work together.
Yeah.
Like that was the big thing.
Yep,
It's
yep.
just everything's working together. You're working muscles that you haven't worked before. And it's like, okay, this is why I'm so weak. This is
Right.
why I can't do that.
Right.
But the bar, yeah, it's the same. It's like
Yes.
grabbing someone's arm
Yep.
and it's helping that strength. So that was a big thing.
Yeah.
But another one was too, like I used to have like my forearms would get so tight, and when you were first talking about the bar, I was like, I don't know, like it might bother it, but it's honestly helped it.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
haven't had any like
Yeah.
issues or anything. It's
It's the
helped my
endurance of
yeah.
the
It
muscle.
helps
Yeah.
my injuries or like injuries that may happen. Like
Mm-hmm.
it helps that, and it's just a huge difference from
Yeah.
last year to where I am now. And people
Awesome.
are like, "Holy, you're
Yeah.
strong," and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
"That's all I do."
So we want you strong and fast.
Yeah,
Strong and
exactly.
endurance.
And I have gotten a lot faster. It helps
Yeah.
lengthen my shot when we do our lunges.
Yeah.
My shot's extended. And
Yeah.
I see videos and I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
that shot. I'm
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so a lot of it has made a huge difference, and it's still going to get better and better and better.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep doing the bar.
And you haven't even been on it a year.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Like in May, it'll be a year.
Yeah. Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Noelle, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me,
coming
as
on.
always.
Yep. I'm glad you came home.
Thank you, me too.
I always love seeing you.
Yep. It's
you know,
always good to be
catching up.
here.
Yeah. Good people,
Yeah,
right?
thank you.
Awesome.
Yep, you got to surround yourself with good people.
Yeah,
People that will
absolutely.
make you grow, and that's a big thing.
Yep,
Grand Valley does that, you do that.
Yep, yep.
So.
Yeah, and also to get the Lord on our side.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much
Thank you.
for coming in. You leave on Monday, right?
Yeah, I do.
All right, so good luck with the rest of the season. If you have any questions or anything, just let me know.
As always, thank
All
you
right?
very much.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.